And that just goes to show you, it's Christmas every day at the NoHo Arts Center. So, did I say NoHo Arts Center? Perfect. No. The building is called the NoHo Arts Center. That didn't change. I'm right even when I'm wrong. So, that's the philosophy we teach, isn't it? I'm right even when I'm wrong. My life is unfolding perfectly. So, oh, what a day. So let's just start with those words. So take these words and sing out loud, because tonight's the night the world begins again. There's an expression that I love, and it's living out loud. Living out loud. Do you allow yourself, Barbara Shane, to live out loud? Yes. Exactly. I knew you'd say that. Full throttle. Do you allow yourself to live out loud? So what does that mean? And actually what I really mean by this is, do you allow your thoughts to live out loud? Doug just said too much so. Do you allow your thoughts to live out loud? Do you allow your desires to live out loud? Or are you perhaps keeping them a secret even from yourself? Do you allow your thoughts to actually take place in your life so that you can deal with them, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent? Or do you somehow keep them hidden, keep them secret, turn away from them if they're not perhaps what you want? And even if they are what you want, you perhaps turn away from them because you don't think you're allowed to have what you want. Do you live out loud? Do your thoughts live out loud? And are you willing to look at your thoughts and call yourself out for them? Are you willing to look at what's going on in your life and literally take a look at it and allow it to be as loud as possible so that maybe you just might hear what you're thinking? That's a talent. It's a talent to be able to live out loud that way, to be able to just do what comes through you and then decide, is it what I want or isn't it what I want? Do you believe that you can begin again at every single moment of your life? Do you, sitting here today, do you believe that right here in this moment, if you decided to, you could start all over again, from scratch, with the sound knowledge that you have the infinite resources of the universe to pull from? And none of this makes any sense or any matter. It doesn't matter what happened in the past or what they're saying might happen in the future. And there's sound logic to that. There is sound logic to living that loud. It's spiritual logic. It's the logic that lets me know that right where I am, God is. And if right where I am, God is, I should be able to think whatever I choose to think and it experience out into my world. So, the logic that we talk about in terms of being able to create our lives the way we want to create them comes from a scientific logic. You know, your body, the thing that you're living in right now, every 7 years changes completely. In 7 years, you will not have the body you have right now. Now, I know a lot of people, when I say that, people are like, really? Because mine hasn't changed. But it has. 7 years ago, you had an entirely different body. It's just that for 7 years, you have probably continued to create the same exact body because you're thinking the same exact thoughts. Yes, your cells do change, but they change and then you decide what they are and what they do. That's what we've learned scientifically. That's why some people cannot get out of a certain entrenched habit they have, and that's why their bodies stay the exact same. Well, let's just move that scientifically from the physical body to the realm of the mind and to experience. You experience the life you have because you're still thinking the same thing all the time. And therefore, even though you have the opportunity at every single moment to change your thinking, change your life, change your belief, change your thinking, change your life, change your belief, change your thinking, change your life, change your experience of life, even though you have that power, to the degree that you don't exercise it, nothing changes. That's the scientific logic behind the science of mind. So, are you willing to sit here today and know that right where I am right now in this instant, I can set the trajectory for my life in an entirely different direction if I choose to. Or I can take what I have right here. August, are you here? Great. August wrote on the blog this morning that he really gets it, because in CPR we're at the point where we're saying to ourselves, I am rich. And he wrote on the blog, I am rich, and now I want more. Is that it? Something like that? I've been so wrong today, but I'm always right. So, I am rich, and now I want more. Are you willing to send that trajectory? That what I have perhaps is brilliant, fabulous, yes. Is it enough? Enough would mean I'm saying to myself, I don't need any more. I'm really happy and content right where I am. And here's the deal. I want you to be happy and content right where you are. But the only happiness and contentment that I want to align myself with is being content with the fact that I am God. And everything is possible and infinitely expandable. I can be content with that. I can be happy with that. And then watch what happens. So, that's what we're here to talk about today. So, I had something come out of my mouth this week, believe it or not, that I knew as I was saying it that I was wrong. And it's amazing that I got up on the stage today and has given you many opportunities to see that happen. Right, Lisa Johnson? So, but I have called, I mean, Jill and I have a kind of a running joke. I say Lisa, I see her, I say Lisa, I see Lisa, I say Jill. Anyway, I went to say something this week to someone, and as I said it, there was a reaction to the person like, what? And I said, no, I'm sorry. I was already autocorrecting that as it came out of my mouth. This is what I meant to say. But I didn't autocorrect it in time to stop it. It wasn't an insult or anything. It was just like so stupid what I said, whatever it was. And luckily, I don't remember it, or I probably would feel compelled to share it with you. But I don't remember what it was. So, what happens when your autocorrector is aligned to some mechanism that isn't really autocorrecting to your best interest? You think that happens in life? You think there's an autocorrection button in your mind that is on at all times? I know we can turn autocorrect off, but you can't. In your mind, there's an autocorrect in there that constantly is working, and that no matter what you say, it autocorrects based on your belief system. So, here are a couple of examples of what can happen to autocorrects that go wild. These are on text phones. Here's one conversation. Hey sis, there's something I have to tell you, and you'd better sit down. Okay, I'm Hispanic. What? You wanted to tell me that you're Hispanic? No, sorry, phone changed the word. Not Hispanic, homosexual. I'm gay. And she writes, LOL, no kidding. And you thought I had to sit down to hear what everyone knew? Hispanic would have been much more surprising. Now, first of all, you got to ask, who texts that to their sister? How do you text that information? Oh, here's something. Sit down. I need to tell you something. It's like, really? Okay. Okay, example number 2. There are no children here, right? Example number 2. All of you are children. Here we go. Example number 2. I'm borrowing a hooker from your closet. I will wash and return it. To which they respond, I didn't know you could wash and return hookers. OMG, I meant hoodie. I didn't see a hooker in your closet. That's not where I keep them. I know, really, I know. So, okay, and then my last one, because these come in threes, of course. A guy wrote this to his girlfriend. Be warned, I'm dumping you when I get home tonight. To which she responded, fine with me. I was just thinking we could use some time apart. To which he responded, WTF, Jenna, which means, of course, why the face. WTF, Jenna, I got autocorrected. I meant to write jumping you, not dumping you. And now you're telling me that you want to break up? And her response was, well, this is awkward. Now, Forget about the little sticky note from Sex and the City. So do you get the idea here? Your mind is constantly auto-correcting you based on beliefs that maybe aren't to your advantage, right? On CPR, someone wrote, "I told myself that I was rich, and I heard back, not true. The truth of I am rich was being auto-corrected by the relative belief I am not." That's what was happening. The experiences of your life is the master autocorrector. All of your experiences are auto-correcting everything you attempt to do, because the autocorrect comes with the experience of saying, but this is really how this works. Yet there's something in you that has the capability and the capacity to say, no, right where I am, God is. Exactly. So we hear the truth and not the experience, and it tells you, not for you. We create autocorrects in our mind. Napoleon Hill wrote this: "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. No matter how many times you may have failed in the past, or how lofty your aims or dreams may be." Now, I'm used to saying, whatever the mind of man can achieve and believe, it can believe and conceive, it can achieve. But I had not heard the rest of his sentence until today, this morning, early, like at 6 o'clock. I was looking for it. I just put in whatever the mind of man, and a little video came up of Napoleon Hill. Have you ever seen him speak? Yes. And Kevin from the other room said, "Who is speaking?" I said, "Napoleon Hill." And he's just this, they all talk the same. Ernest Holmes, too. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and achieve, it can achieve. And Kevin's like, who is talking in there? Didn't matter. And someone asked me, how come Ernest Holmes compelled so many people to come hear him speak? And I said, well, it wasn't about his speaking gifts. We're clear about that. What was it about? It was about the fact that he was saying something new and vibrant and exciting. And people were like, oh my God, do you hear what he's saying? And unfortunately, I think we have gotten so used to hearing that, even like when we read The Secret, everybody read it, said, oh, this is exciting, oh, that doesn't work, and we're done. So how are we going to make this new again? How are we going to hear that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve, no matter how many times you may have failed in the past? Now, here's the great thing that I found this morning. Andrew Carnegie is the man who taught Napoleon Hill. And I have a quote here from Andrew Carnegie that I found that I just love, and it's this: "There is a power greater than poverty, greater than a lack of education, greater than all your fears and superstitions combined. It is the power to take possession of your own mind and direct it toward whatever ends you may desire." And here's what's exciting about that quote. He was saying it to Napoleon Hill. When Napoleon Hill said to him, "I think you've picked the wrong person to teach. I don't know that I could ever contribute anything worthwhile to the universe." And Andrew Carnegie said that. And then Napoleon Hill said this. So I'm here today speaking my words, Napoleon Hill's words, Ernest Holmes' words, words that I have come to understand for myself. And your choice, as he said, to take possession of your mind today. Take possession of it. Not just allow it to be something where ideas float through, but to literally take possession of your mind. Understand, it is the most powerful tool you will ever have. As Andrew Carnegie said, there's one thing, only one thing in the world that you have control of. Only one thing that you have absolute control of, and it is your mind. Think about that. It's the only thing you have absolute control of, your mind. Now, the irony there is, if you take control of your mind, you're kind of in control of everything else, aren't you? That's how it works. What a brilliant gift. So, take possession. I read that and I was like, wow, take possession. Not allow the autocorrect that is in my mind to take over at any time. And when it does, what happens? What do you think happens when people write those kind of texts? Well, except for the guy who said dumping. Obviously, he had to move the conversation in a different direction after that. But most of the time, you have to correct it back, don't you? Oh, that's not what I meant this. But how often do you forget to do that? How often does the autocorrect come in and say something and you actually start believing it? Instead of taking possession of your mind and saying, no, I know who I am. This is not acceptable. And then you may even hear again, yeah, but it's the way it works. No, it's not the way it works. No, but it is for you. No, it is not for me. Well, why do you think that? Because I do. And it's like, I'm getting another head. Yours is annoying. And that would be awesome, wouldn't it? If it just went away, go somewhere else. Actually, just disappear. Don't go anywhere else. Andrew Carnegie also wrote this. Whatever your mind feeds upon, your mind attracts to you. What a great sentence. Whatever your mind feeds upon. So, what are you feeding upon right now in your life? Can you think of anything you might be feeding upon that might not be the calories you want? I was so proud of my family last night. We went to California Pizza Kitchen for dinner, and he handed out menus. And I've been very, very smart and strong lately to always read the menu and see what's in what I'm about to eat. And California Pizza Kitchen is very smart not to put those facts in their menu. So the menu came, and I'm looking at the menu, and I said to the waiter, I said, do you have any does it say anywhere what's in all this food? He says, well, we have a nutritional guide menu. Would you like that? He said, no one ever asks for it. I said, please. So he brings it to me, and it's like a book. And it's like everything's in there. So I start to look at what Kevin and I and Will always order. And I'm like, oh my God, I have been eating that? So I ordered what I needed to order for me, and it was very fulfilling, very, very delicious. We get to dessert. He comes for dessert. Now, I was totally prepared. Because I can tell you this. How many of you eat at California Pizza Kitchen? How many of you have had the butter cake with Haagen-Dazs ice cream? Unbelievable. Yes, I know you have, Kevin. So I was already armed as the two of them were about to order the butter cake with Haagen-Dazs ice cream. I was armed to say to them, I just want you to know, each one of those desserts has 1,867 calories. We didn't order it. It was great. And Kevin went, oh, okay. So we didn't order it. We didn't have dessert last night. And we were just as happy. And even Will, he went, wow, that's a lot of calories. No, wait, that's not true. That's not true. Will said, that's a lot of calories. And the guy came back and he said, so will we be having dessert? And Will just went, doesn't look like it. While he was still holding the menu, staring at it. So I was just so proud of us. But here's the thing. Here's what came up for me, especially after reading the thing about the calories, what Andrew Carnegie said. Whatever your mind feeds upon, that's what you attract into your life. So the question I have for you this morning is, how many calories worth of negativity do you think are healthy for your body and mind? How much of your thinking needs to be taken off the menu? How much of your thinking is feeding you, substantially feeding you? How many calories do you think there are in the statement, I am not worthy? Now, I grew up with that. Oh, Lord, I am not worthy to receive you. Now, the thing is, and I don't want to diss the Catholic Church at all. Oh, Lord, I am not worthy to receive you, but only speak the truth, and my soul shall be healed. I can look at that now through the minds of a metaphysician and the minds of new thought and say, you know what, there's some real great truth in that. Oh Lord, meaning, oh, that in me that is higher than all, I am not worthy to receive you. I'm not, because I'm still down here thinking that I'm unworthy. But only speak the truth, and all shall be healed. So in one sense, makes perfect sense. So how many calories, how many mental calories do you think there are in I'm not worthy? Imagine a mind that is auto-correcting itself based on, I am not worthy. Oh, I would love a new car. You are not worthy. Pops right up. I would love to fall in love, meet my soulmate. You are not worthy. Pops up. Prosperity is mine. No, it's not. You are not worthy. That's what happened. Autocorrection. You know those autocorrects go really fast. They happen before you can even press send. It's like, no, it's not what I meant to send. There were some, you should go to autocorrect, just joked, worst autocorrects ever. You should just look it up, because some of it I just couldn't read from this particular stage. Very funny. Very funny. So, what belief do you have in mind that is calling the shots for you? What belief do you have that's auto-correcting everything that comes after it? A belief of I am not worthy will auto-correct everything in a really horrific way. A belief of the world is scary, the world is not safe, will autocorrect everything. Oh, I want to do this. That's too scary. Oh, okay. I should try this. Nope, you can't do that. A belief of I am not good enough will autocorrect everything you try to do, always telling you you're not good enough. That's what these beliefs are, autocorrects. Andrew Carnegie said that we are born with two envelopes. I love this idea. We're born with two envelopes, riches and penalties. Riches and penalties. Now, the penalties only apply to the riches we don't use. I want you to think about that. The penalties only apply to the riches we don't use. If we don't use wisdom, which is one of our gifts, one of our riches, what happens? We get to live in a world that is very unintelligent. Raymond Charles Barker has a great quote. He says, the unintelligent use of divine intelligence, that we suffer from an unintelligent use of divine intelligence. So if I'm not willing to use the wisdom that I am, and we had a great example this Monday in Science of Mind 300 class, when someone was mentioning that she felt that she didn't have everything she needed, it wasn't smart enough, didn't have the right words for things. And I said, that is a belief that you must take to the dump. You must get rid of that belief. Your words, no matter what they are equal to the greatest words that were ever written. And that's the truth. Otherwise, every word you say, you're going to judge, and you're going to trip up. You must know who you are. So, an unintelligent use is allowing outdated autocorrects to trump what we know. Hear that again. An unintelligent use of wisdom is allowing outdated autocorrects to trump what we know is the truth. Every Sunday, I get up here and speak the truth. I then spend the week knowing the truth for myself and for you. And when something pops up in my life that is not the truth, I shoot it down. That is my work. I don't let my autocorrects take over. And when they do, I shoot them down. So, what outdated autocorrects do you have? I know you know what they are. Let's go back to the top of this talk. I know you know what they are. And if you would be willing to live out loud, probably even your friends will tell you what they are. Think about that. You'll get that. If you're willing to just live out loud and not hide from maybe the possibility of being stupid, be stupid. Just do it. Say what you need to say. And then know the truth about it. If you're willing to live out loud, you will find out what autocorrects are there that need changing. Andrew Carnegie said that there are only two. Could you tell I really love Andrew Carnegie today? Yes. Andrew Carnegie said there are only two things to achieve success. You only need two things to achieve success. You want to know what they are? It's like, nah, pass that one. Okay. One, you have to know what you want. Now, that may seem easy, and you might go, yeah, I've heard that. But I mean really let yourself know what you want, which would mean that all of your autocorrects need to be put away, because you have to be free enough to say, no, I really do want this. And when I heard that this morning, when I heard him say this morning, are you willing to want what you want? I stopped for a second, and I had a moment of, what do I want for my life going forward? What do I want? And I had a very big vision shoot up. A very big vision shot up in my head. And I was like, am I big enough for that vision? I didn't really even ask the question. I think I made the statement. I am big enough for all of this. What do I desire? Know what you want. That's number one. And then the second one, what am I willing to give for what I desire? I want you to notice this. Andrew Carnegie didn't say, what am I willing to do to make that happen? That's not what he said. He said, what am I willing to give in order to receive what is already mine? Because he got it. Giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin. And to the degree that we feel we can't give, we are also saying, I can't receive. And he got that. That man gave over $350 million. It was like $359 million by the time he died. And that was a long time ago. That was a lot more money today. If it were, it'd be billions probably. Because he understood it. Am I willing to give of myself? Am I willing to give of my talents? Am I willing to give unapologetically? I am willing to just give. So there you go, 2 things, 2 secrets to success. Not so secret, really. What do you want, and are you willing to give what's necessary? Whatever your mind feeds upon is what you are attracting to you. So what I want to leave you with today is this concept of autocorrect. I really want you to spend the week this week understanding that whatever beliefs are autocorrecting in you, be willing to hear them this week. Be willing to really hear when your mind changes what you say you want. And the biggest one, since this is Love Only Month, anytime you find yourself this week being unloving towards yourself, anytime you find yourself this week degrading yourself, saying anything to yourself that does not support your highest truth, there's some belief that is autocorrecting in you. And give yourself the opportunity to see it, to let it speak itself out loud, and then autocorrect it. Know what you want, and then be willing to give what is necessary to achieve and to receive. Because what the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Your mind is your greatest tool. Namaste. Thank you.